I have a cat. We're going to see if she will come and visit us. Are you pretty? Are you pretty, kitty? This is my fur baby. And when I annoy her, she goes away and lets me do my videos in peace. How are you doing? It's Trinity from Moonstone Mystics and City of Light Spiritual Center. Coming to you with a little message. I had given my first sermon in front of a congregation today, and I was recording it so that I could post it online. And I realized that I heard this like click as if someone had turned off the recording. And when I went back and looked at when the recording stopped, I was like, okay, there's a message in there. There is a definite message in there, because it was right after I said, the conversation was talking about how we heal the illusion that there is division because we're all connected. I had said, how does one go about loving thy neighbor as we love ourselves? Just like Jesus taught us to. And if you think about it, we already do. And we do not love ourselves very much. So it's no wonder why we're treating our neighbors of all kinds the way that we do. And so healing it should come from within first, learning how to love ourselves, because then we will know how to love another person. And it cut off right after that. And I was like, okay, so I went into meditation, and I got the message right away as to what exactly needed to be stated. And they, to the credit of my guides, they have been trying to alert me to the fact that there was part of the sermon that needed to be rewritten. It just makes me really consider exactly how guided I am through this journey, and how much my higher power loves me, and how much my cat loves sharpening her claws. Hey, kitty. I love her so much. She's such a jerk. That's my owner, most definitely. But anyway, I will, once I get the sermon back, because my computer and my printed out version are at the church because I accidentally forgot them there, and now it's locked up. But once I get it back and I get it rewritten, I will record it so that I can post the actual sermon, even though it won't be, in front of a congregation. And you know what? I think that that's really appropriate, because, I can see exactly why they wanted me to rewrite it. And a large part of it is because I still need to work on some forgiveness of other people on my part. And that's how we go about doing things. And so that actually brings me to one of the messages that I got a little bit later during the meditation that we do in church. Our church is so wonderful. Guys, seriously, if you're looking for a spiritual house that has really good messaging, City of Light Spiritual Center is the bomb. Dr. Paul is great. He always has such wonderful messages, and the congregation is so loving to one another. I can't speak highly enough about it, and how much I'm going to miss going to church there every Sunday. I do have a church that I go to in Statesboro, but I love them both equally, and I wish I could be in two places at the same time. I genuinely do. However, one of the messages that I got was talking about how our character defects are removed. That's steps 6 and 7. And I'm being told I probably won't need to pull tarot today for this message, which is good. All right. When we are looking at step 6 and 7, it's talking about, recognizing our character defects in step 6, like seeing where we have our flaws, where we are human beings, being human, in negative ways. And then step 7 is to humbly ask our higher power to remove them from us. I I can't remember the step 7 prayer offhand. I have taken that and step 3 and St. Francis prayer, and I wrote a prayer of my own based off of those. And I say that every day. I highly encourage you to do that. It's a very healing way to heal, or very healing way to navigate this journey. I recommend that all the time. But the big book really does not talk a lot about step 6 and 7. And to be fair, I have not read Drop the Rock. That is a book that expands on step 6 and 7, because that's really where the secret sauce is. If you can start vetting out those character defects, you soon realize that it's those defects that are putting you in the positions where you're thinking that you need to drink and drug. Because that, it's like, you figure out that you're your own problem, and those are the things that you can start to change very slowly. However, it implies that when you humbly ask God to remove those defects of character, that it's going to magically go away. And the vision that I got during meditation on that was, I remember when I was in summer camp, and it was a Lutheran Bible camp, and we were Camp Shatek. I don't know if it's still available, but that's the name of it. Back in the day, it was in Minnesota. We had a camp counselor who was very intuitive, and I really loved learning from her. And one of the things she had us do was go to the beach on the lake that was there. And obviously there was waves coming in and out. And she said, I want you to write down a character defect that you want to rid yourself of. And then we're going to watch and see what happens. And so, some people put lying, some people put gossiping. It's just, you can put whatever you want to get rid of. And then the whole point of it was that we would leave and then come back, and the waves would have washed away. And it's a metaphor for God washing away our sins. But in real life, when we're working through these character defects and we're asking God to help us get rid of them, it sometimes is lifted out of us miraculously, but more often than not, it is like watching the wave come in, that character defect is not removed from us in the first wave. It slowly, the sand readjusts and relevels itself. And that word very, very slowly, gradually with each wave goes away. Likewise, that's kind of what happens sometimes, where we have this character defect that we want to work on, and we find ourselves still exhibiting that. And so when we humbly ask our higher power for help with this, oftentimes the very first step is to be conscious that you're doing it, in the act of doing it. And then you can go to a step 10 and to a step 11 and figure out, what did I do right? What did I do differently this time? What could I have done better? And then the next time you're confronted with that same character defect, you're going to get better and better at it. It's about progress, literally. You're not going to be like a light switch for every single character defect that you have. And so when we go through these steps, and it's kind of glossed over a lot, like, okay, figure out what your defects are and pray about it. I am sure that there are sponsors who will sit you down and go through that, but I did not have that luxury, and that is something that I had to learn from experience. And so that's why I'm sharing it on here, so that it can be explained a little bit more. One of my character defects is scrolling on social media. I do it ad nauseum, and my guides are constantly like, dude, seriously, you need to get some stuff done. You're procrastinating. And that tells me that the root of it is procrastination. And like, I'm kind of doing that right now with this video, because I've got an entire apartment to move in 5 days. But this message was really important. And I think that in the grand scheme of things, I need to give myself some grace. I need to take action, but I have to give myself some grace because I do have ADHD. I am on the autism spectrum, and I do exhibit pathological demand avoidance. It's something that a lot of us do when we're on the spectrum. Combine that with a lot of childhood trauma, which a lot of us have dealt with because we weren't normal. You know, and it's no wonder why, but there's understanding it and then there's fixing it. And so I am going to let you go so that I can go pack some stuff. But before I go, if no one's told you today, know that I love you. Take care.